Hour coming to you live on GBC News and TV. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the news. I am Soyokwo Kwaku Tre. Transport fares have seen an upward adjustment by 15% from today, Saturday, 26 February 2022. It includes fares from shared taxis, intra-city trotro, and intercity long distance. This follows conclusion of negotiations between road transport operators and the government on increment in fares. Earlier, the transport unions proposed a 30% upward adjustment, but after a meeting on Monday, February 21, 2022, the operators agreed to increase public transport fares by 15%. In a statement, the road transport operators indicated that the decision to increase transport fares had been necessitated by the economic hardship the country is facing and its negative impact on their work. Various transport associations say the high cost of fuel, high import duty on vehicles, increase in the cost of spare parts and vehicle lubricants are among the reasons for the increase in fares. The statement further requested all operators and the public to cooperate with the successful implementation of the new fares. GBC News was at some lorries terminals in Accra to gauge the mood of drivers and passengers like us. The new fares take effect today.
Amount 40 say increase no ebe start Saturday. Ba ebi mo amount fan show margin. Enti nipa no obedu wi a se be wo twa fares no. Enti nda bibia sisa wokodu a obi on mo a Ubeka Sabransana, what you say, ticket, you know. And I'm so scared no animal.
Rolling time, you're too fast, you're too weekdays. Too fast, Saturday, over Saturday, will be office band here, you man. Until on better so, any only problem, but to so weekdays, you know, they are bagging up to maybe a weekend. As I mean, my G impress, I made it to Quayo, and then I want to so, may then accompany this kind of money.
Send an increment by no passengers no move for car and now catch almost say I took fair man. Send almost say no say almost chase can cramp yabi. Almost company sa day. The bia bakroma ya to name ya befa car so ya to fair mu.
And can near G42 cities this year G50 cities. The anopay by will be a minimum sample and be blue hair na. You see, I'm a better taking as 50 cities. Scams are me one and is a cry, common am the ticket, and me grant and a crampo any. Was maybe no minimum set, Sana Fanity. And is a cry, with him one, Yemi Abba my crowd teacher. Nisika Cranso, Yenny Ocadam is a edgy card as son so and Sana. 8 me Abuama in Atwa Quentunus.
I don't pay a bedroom from office in penny for none and see engine, till ain't mentioned. At least as I say, covers a 45 and a 46. But was almost any 50 flat. Then if you above. Yeah, the intimate.
First, second call, I don't call near 280, but it's here 320. Second call, Kanishi. First, net 230. It's here 260.
Challenging the Banya, but I think I started. The passage you for man, Sana. Uncle, my no Bia Kofi, or Bone say, all Banusena or Tia, no challenges in the Baba for Mamma.
Awosh na meko aye Jimmy 28 sesi aye je 38 preko 1 cedi e na omode account aka first no ka pesos e na ka ye de to so sesi a 1 cedi no ebetimi ato koko ama beba mananu mu ada intine no so moma ade ne boye de sa
e haye se month bia na yatum month bia na yatulol fam sa no e ha adwen enti eba ne sa was a one or Mokasa, Omokakase be actually a mine say in a coso. But yes, a musolia, no more to bedrooms, and a hard drink.
At the GPRTU Al-Haji Abbas Moro to help us assess the level of compliance with regard to the increase in transport fares. Hello, good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on News Hour.
Hello.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon. And afternoon to all viewers or listeners.
Right. Thanks so much for joining us on News Hour. Now, the implementation of the new transport fares has begun. So is it a big relief to the union?
I will say this has been the best so far because we came out on Monday and we said everybody should study it carefully. It is 15%. As it is going to take effect from Saturday. From Monday, we started agitating, we started announcing, we started telling people, even they heard some recalcitrant drivers say they will charge 30%, of which we came out and condemned that one. So if somebody says he's not aware, I'll be surprised. And we ask our drivers also to display the price list to avoid some unnecessary confrontations. I heard a lady saying initially they were paying 280 and now they are still paying 380. It shouldn't be 380. 280 and 15%, it should be 320, not 380. So if it is so, they shouldn't pay the 380.
So you see,
this is how it is, yeah.
So these are some of the challenges that passengers are facing today. So as a union, what are you doing so that this will be curtailed? Because, you know, she wasn't happy at all. As you said, you had it from 280 to this to 380 to this. It's a big jump.
Well, I would plead with the passengers to be our brother's keeper. Because if we are in a vehicle, you can't say all the people are illiterate or all the people have not been told that if we were paying 280, now it is 320. So we should be very, very vigilant. And anybody who said it, we don't want to be saying these things on air. But we have to do that because we have been told that some recalcitrant drivers on some of the roads, of which I won't say now, but in the near future, we shall deal with that. Because for now, I've been told the Kaswa Road and the Medina Road, some recalcitrant drivers are taking more than what they are supposed to take. We shall inform the police because that is cheating. You can't say you take the law into your own hands and charge 30%. Whilst we have all agreed, if you want to charge 30%, go and use your road. Don't use the road that government built for all of us. These are some of the things, even the fuel that we buy. Government hand is in it. So you can't say drivers, the leadership should just come out with any lorry fare at all. If GTRT will come out with 15%, then Protoa says they will take 10%. Somebody say they will take 20%. Then where are we heading to? We can't live in a country like that. We are living in a country which has laws. We are not in a lawless country. So those people should resist from cheating their own relatives. In Ghana, a Ghana has married to an Ashanti. An Ashanti has married to a Northerner. Yeah. A Northerner has married to an Izima. Izima has married to a Voltarian. So we are all related. Why should you cheat your own relative? I don't think we shall be quiet on
as a matter of fact, that is what is actually happening. So what is leadership doing to solve this situation?
I am saying we shall inform the police tomorrow because it will soil all of us. It will soil our name for some few people's interest. We won't keep quiet on that.
Okay, so are we likely to see an increase of transport fares anytime soon? If you look at what is happening.
When we are attending the position that we are now, well, we were told that we haven't seen any document on that we have 10% threshold, but we did not see any document to that effect. This time around, we have documented it. So should the fuel swell up to 10%, the threshold will work. We will come out with another upward adjustment. Here's how it is. We won't wait till about 30% increment or so. before coming out with another upward adjustment.
Okay, so some of our reporters went out today and they came back with reports that it seems like the long distance drivers, they haven't, or transport unions, they haven't increased their fares yet. Is it a matter that they are not part of the union, the mother union, or it's just meant for those operating within the city, that is the trotro and taxis?
The long distance, we are aware, especially those with the GPRTU. We are currently working out with a company which will take care of the long distance travelers, since we have identified most accidents within the long distance travelers. To take particulars of the travelers, your relative, your telephone number, a relative's telephone number, etc., etc., so that in case something occurred unexpectedly, your relatives could be reached. I strongly believe they haven't finished up with that, because we call that electronic ticketing, which will get some of your information. So that is why they have been started. I strongly believe from Monday they will also take off with the new.
All right, thank you very much, Alhaji Abbas Moro, for the explanation and insight. And Alhaji Abbas Moro is the head of communications at the GPRTU. Amid the increase in terrorist attacks and violent extremism in the West African sub-region, the Defense Minister, Mr. Dominic Nitiwul, has tasked the ECOWAS Forum of National Security Advisors to develop appropriate strategies to improve security in the sub-region. Mr. Nitiwul made these remarks at the maiden meeting of the ECOWAS Forum of National Security Advisors, which is underway in Accra.
Millions of people are internally displaced. Schools have been closed. Markets and health facilities have become inaccessible to many people, particularly in places like Mali, Burkina Faso, and to some extent Niger. Of course, not to mention big brother Nigeria. Even more worrisome is the recent spate of military coups in countries like Guinea, Mali, and Burkina Faso in the region, and the failed one in another country. This certainly is perilous to our shared values of freedom, democracy, and the rule of law, and also our vision of free and open societies. We have no choice whatsoever but to embark on concerted action to reverse this gloomy situation that is looming within our sub-region.
An engagement to discuss a survey on gaps identified in Ghana's healthcare system in relation to the deployment of essential tools to manage Ghana's COVID-19 situation has brought to the table experts from the Ghana Health Service, the Alliance for Reproductive Health Rights, and the World Health Organization. The panel also proposed workable solutions to the identifiable bottlenecks.
In June 2021, the Ghana Health Service, in partnership with the World Health Organization, launched a study to identify the loopholes in Ghana's healthcare system, which was impeding the rapid deployment of essential COVID-19 tools in the country. As part of the World Health Organization's Access to COVID-19 Tools Accelerator Plan for Ghana, the assessment were to monitor and track health facilities, readiness and case management capacity for COVID-19 and the continuity of essential health services in the context of COVID-19. With countries facing major gaps and challenges in data systems, the study also intended to help strengthen the country's intelligence platforms and automated dashboards for real-time analysis and use of data for policy dialogue and action plan development. In Ghana on Wednesday, partners in health, including the World Health Organization, the Ghana Health Service, and the Alliance for Reproductive Health Rights, used the platform to discuss the result of the study and gave the experts an opportunity to address the gaps identified in the study report.
Although most hospitals have X-ray and ultrasound machines, very few of the hospitals have things like MRI and CT scan, and so that is also an area for concern. In terms of oxygen supply, most of the facilities relied on the portable gas cylinders for supply of oxygen, and I think that is also one area that would need some attention.
With the outbreak of COVID-19 in 2019, majority of the world economies have been adversely affected. However, the anticipation of these aspects in the healthcare system is to help reduce the magnitude of the impact of the disease.
A team of surgeons and professors of surgery from Humanity First, a US-based charitable trust, have taken a number of Ghanaian surgeons and perioperative nurses through laparoscopy skills. Laparoscopy is a minimally invasive technique that requires that the surgery is undertaken through small incisions created in the abdomen and with the aid of a camera. The U.S. medical team was partnered by the Medical and Surgical Skills Institute of the University of Ghana Medical School.
Laparoscopy, otherwise known as pinhole or keyhole surgery, is now mostly preferred because it does not require that you cut open the patient to remove affected organs. It rather offers a safer and less painful option, and patients are said to heal faster. Laparoscopy requires a hand-eye coordination. The team from Humanity First, which include robotic surgeons, offer training in laparoscopy, epidural anesthesia, among others.
We are helping clinicians to have the basic skills, knowledge, and some mentorship around doing regional blocks, which are a way for people to have less pain after procedures and numb the nerves, so that we can do particularly procedures on the extremities or other areas with very minimal general anesthesia, so they're not asleep as much. And so it's much safer for patients if they have a shoulder procedure or an arm procedure or a minor procedure. Even for labor, epidural anesthesia is very important.
Children who are born with their testes not in the scrotum, and sometimes you have to search all over before you get a testis, and this has to be done open, and that takes a long time. But if you have this what you call pinhole or keyhole surgery, you can actually take a telescope, go in, and be able to identify where this testis is, and then you can then do a first stage and a second stage to get a testis down.
Close to 30 participants were given hands-on training after theory sessions. They operated on pigs to extract their gallbladder and tie their fallopian tubes. To a large extent, pigs have similar anatomy as humans. Dr. Fatima Kambati is one of the instructors. While she hailed Ghanaian surgeons for improvising with what was available, she also admitted the skills gap in Ghana is high.
Surgery can always be fatal, that is there. But that's why you have a fully trained surgeon who fully understands the operation. They're not learning how to operate. They're not learning what to do. They're learning new instruments and new devices. So they know the operation itself. So if the patient is in danger, they know exactly when to stop and to do the old-fashioned technique. So that part, I'm less worried about.
Some of the beneficiaries spoke to GBC News.
I wish almost all hospitals in Ghana can adopt this method of surgery to minimize the rate of infection and for cosmetic purpose.
We've been taught ways to do it safely. So one of the ways is to do it under direct visualization. That means you are actually seeing what you are doing before you place anything. That reduces the risk of perforating any organ to almost zero.
Pupils and teachers of the Kwesi Diaka DA Basic School in the Okra district of the Eastern Region are appealing to the government and benevolent organizations to, as a matter of urgency, help put up a new classroom block for the school to enhance effective teaching and learning. The SOS was sent when GBC News team visited the school to assess the deplorable nature of the structure, which serves as a classroom for the lower primary.
Kwesi Diaka DA Basic School was established in 2008 through the effort of community members and was absorbed by the government in 2014. The community members erected a structure which served as classroom for the pupils. Since its establishment and absorption, the school structure has not seen any major rehabilitation. The roofs of basic 4 and 5 classrooms were ripped off last year October during a rainstorm and has not yet been replaced. This has compelled the school authorities to combine the KG 1 and 2 in one class as well as basic 2 and 3 in another class to make room for the basic 4 and 5 pupils. Again, the school structure has developed some cracks, while the floors of the classrooms are not cemented, making the rooms dusty. Due to the deplorable nature of the structure, the authorities are compelled to close the school whenever there is an impending rain because some of the roofs leak badly and classes cannot continue under such condition. This has led to a decline in academic performance in the Basic Education Certificate Examination (BECE). For instance, in 2018, the first batch of pupils recorded 94.6% in the BECE, which reduced to 64% in 2019 and came down further to 36.4% in 2020. The Assemblyman for Achemanting electoral area, Mr. Maxwell Ban, appealed to the government to, as quickly as possible, help construct a new classroom block, ICT lab and washrooms for both teachers and pupils in the school.
Currently, the children have no washroom, which is making it difficult for them anytime the need arises. Because of the lack of proper classroom, the performance of the children keeps on deteriorating, keeps on coming down. The first BEC performance was very, very good, about 94%, and since then it keeps on coming down.
The school has no canteen and kitchen but a bamboo structure which serves as the kitchen where the matron of the school feeding program prepares meals for the pupils. The chairman of the school management committee, Mr. Lawrence Addo, also appealed for the construction of a proper kitchen and a canteen for the school. He noted that the lack of proper infrastructure in the school makes some teachers unwilling to stay whenever they are posted to the school. Some of the pupils spoke to the news team.
Our school building is not good. We don't have roofing on our school building. If it is coming to rain, they will close classes early because we can't learn on the rain. And we don't have computer lab. We don't have water in our school. We are begging the government to come and build us the things.
With about 200 pupils, Kwesi Diaka DA Basic School serves communities such as Apesua, Huhunya, Salom, Tukunya, and Agave.
The Commission for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, CTVET, says it has entered a new phase of technical skills development and job creation. The Acting Director General of CTVET, Dr. Alfred Che Asamoah, announced this at a media briefing in Accra.
Addressing skills mismatch, according to industry players, is one sure way to bridge the skills gap in students trained in academic institutions and meet the needs of industry. In recent years, skills development in the area of technical and vocational training has become a priority to government since it helps in making people economically self-reliant. The Acting Director General of CTVET, Dr. Alfred Che Asamoah, explained what the new phase is all about.
The Ghana Enterprise Agency, if you look at the Jobs and Skills Project, is to give support to 50,000 people. Then out of the 5,000 will be given resources to expand their business or to start something. That is why the Jobs and Skills Project is saying let's support the industry to train more people. So if you're a young entrepreneur and as part of the Jobs and Skills Project, the Skill Development Fund, the Ghana Skill Development Fund, is going to support more young people with resources, with training, so that they can establish their companies. In Agric, we are expanding the training to make sure that Agric mechanization, research and innovation in Agric is embarked on.
He reiterated that the youth of today stands a better chance if they are equipped with vocational and technical skills. The government has been urged to take a second look at its expenditure on education, focusing more on the development of basic schools. At an anniversary lecture of Keta Senior High School in Accra, an old student of the school and the Quality Assurance Officer of Ho Technical University, Reverend Dr. Kofi Ashiboy-Mensah, said some children in basic schools were unable to go to school because those whose responsibility it is to ensure they are in school have failed to provide the needed resources.
The public lecture was held on the theme Education for Sustainable Development. Reverend Dr. Kofi Ashiboy-Mensah, an old student of Ketasco and Quality Assurance Officer of the Ho Technical University, called for the provision of quality basic education for our children.
And one of the things that this goal seeks to do is to bring equity and accessibility for all our boys and girls as far as learning and development of the human capital is concerned. Have introduced structures and programs to help us achieve this goal of making sure every child has free, compulsory, primary and secondary education, qualitative ones.
The Dean of the University of Cape Coast School of Educational Development and Outreach, Professor George Odru, says students represent the backbone of the country's sustainable development. He said the provision and delivery of quality school education depends largely on rules and regulations.
The Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service have the responsibility of ensuring that rules are in place for effective and efficient functioning of schools within the broad framework of the 1982 Constitution. These rules include spelling out conditions for becoming and operating as a school, designing curriculum, staff recruitment and promotion, conditions for transfers and study leave, teacher behavior standards, conditions for student admission, placement, promotion, and dismissal, standard, expected behavior of students, distribution of teaching and learning logistics, and other rules that are generic by nature.
The president of the Keta Old Students Association, Mr. Kojo Mata, said he recognizes the efforts of government and other partners, including parents, to achieve the free SHS policy, which he described as a laudable initiative by the government.
The Abnahafo Women Cooperative Cocoa Farming and Marketing Union, BOCOF, has been inaugurated in Suyan. Women cocoa farmers and those in the cocoa value chain in the Bunu Ahafo and Bunu East regions are the members of the group. Among others, the women in cocoa believe this move will give them a voice and help address pressing issues like access to credit and land. Representative of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Dr. Mercy Asamoah, said the formation of BOCOF will help improve data on women in cocoa and facilitate the rollout of measures to modernize cocoa production in Ghana. The inauguration was attended by members of the union from Domahinkro, Bechem, Brekum, Techiman and Gosu, among others. They were joined by officials of Cocoa Board as well as regional and district chief farmers From the Bunu Ahafo and Bunu East regions, a representative of Cocoa Board welcomed the formation of the union, saying it will facilitate the rolling out of mechanization and other measures to take the drudgery out of cocoa farming. She further urged the women to adopt modern practices and approach cocoa farming as a business.
The way to do cocoa farming now is to do serious business. Serious business where herbicides and weedicides are unacceptable due to the deleterious effects on the soils and on the environment. Where with the climate change already close at hand, rain-fed agriculture is no longer tenable, and thus cocoa cultivation must be by irrigation and nothing less.
The chairperson of the Bunu Ahafo Women Cooperative Cocoa Farming and Marketing Union, Borkov, Madame Martha Adai Mununkum, said through the union they hope to advance women's issues while exploring alternative livelihoods outside the cocoa industry.
Cocoa board, and I'm a creative one to issue. Actually, I never be brave. Over here, I can say additional livelihood. Say, Emma. Yenshi and your man getting and can from my home. A son said, Coco, my fish at there. Tis a cocoa a minute to moi. You bet me, I had your man getting here. Yet ever boy and hoop.
The Bunu Regional Minister, Madame Justina Owusu-Banahini, urged the members to leverage on the union to explore opportunities to diversify their incomes and become more resilient. The executives of the Borkov were sworn in at the event. There was also a sketch to drum home the need to avoid child labor in cocoa production. The inauguration of Borkov also featured an exhibition of products produced by members and agricultural inputs. The Akuapem South Municipal Assembly, in collaboration with the Ghana National Fire Service, has stepped up campaigns to minimize rampant bushfires in the municipality. The target groups are farmers and the general public on the effects of bushfires. The initiative was on the theme Bushfire, a menace to planting for food and jobs, consolidating food systems in Ghana.
The campaign started with a float through the town to create more awareness on the dangers of bushfire and other preventive methods. As part of government initiative to support the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative, the Ghana National Fire Service at Kufuor launched the anti-bushfire campaign at the regional level. The Akuapem North Municipal Fire Officer, Grade 1, DO1, Martha Annan, said fire prevention has been a challenge in the municipality. She said the area recorded countless cases of bushfires in December last year till date, hence the need to enforce fire preventive methods.
The challenge is that most of our farmers, when they want to prepare their farm for planting, they normally go to the farm and then they set fire to their land. At the end of the day, they think they are clearing the land. But at the end of the day, the bush fire spread and then it affects other farms. So for it not to occur, we must go to the communities to educate them. This is the first time in the Akuapem South municipality. You will see more because this is the first place we have started and we are moving from here. We are launching it today.
A representative of the municipal chief executive, Mr. Emmanuel Abugri, said the anti-bushfire campaign has come at an opportune time. The NADMO coordinator, Mr. Bachman Akufu Intu, says they will continue to support initiatives that impact positively on the society. The Ebri Fire Station says they will also do more to educate farmers and the general public on the effects of bushfire in the Akuapem South municipality. The Akuapem South Municipal Assembly has been in existence for the past 10 years.
You're still watching News Hour, coming to you live on GBC News and GTV. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with the business segment. Please don't go away.
As perseverance, logic, decisiveness, and self-confidence.
Being strong is not just about physical abilities, but also emotional, intellectual, and mental strength. Women's Voice is a platform to hear and share stories to encourage women and girls. Women are the real architects of society. It is they who provide the foundation of power, grace, wisdom, justice, creativity,
the public to desist from engaging middlemen who request for money from prospective small and medium enterprises to approve loans for them. In a statement, the agency said it has noticed in the past few weeks a reemergence of a common type of mobile money fraud under the disguise of the GEA COVID-19 intervention programs. The agency indicated that the fraudsters call the applicants impersonating staff of the agency and request for their tax identification number under the pretense of processing their loans or to help them access more funds. The targeted applicant is therefore convinced to pay an amount of money to a mobile money account. The statement urged the public to be vigilant and avoid falling prey to such unscrupulous individuals. The GEA deems this act a regrettable indictment on its dedicated and hard-working staff. It pointed out that all approved charges related to the loan programs are paid via GEA-approved mediums or directly to the partnering banks of the various programs, that is, CABAS, Incosio, and COVID-19 response grants. The GEA urged the public to ignore calls or messages making demands of this nature. Meanwhile, the Ghana Enterprises Agency has supported 74 micro, small and medium-scale enterprises with an amount of 7 million cedis. The Chief Executive, Ms. Kosi Yankee Aye, said the assistance is to aid the growth of local businesses and help the private sector to expand and create more job opportunities.
The COVID impact around the world has really impacted negatively and in some cases positively for various MSMEs. So through government's intervention and the President's leadership, funding was made available to support MSMEs. We started with the 600 million CAP business support, where we supported over 300,000 and got support from other partners such as MasterCard Foundation and others, to be able to accelerate the growth of SMEs, to ensure that they are able to have enough requisite support to be able to create employment and also strengthen and transform the economy. Government negotiated with the World Bank and together came up with access to finance component to support these businesses, especially under the COVID era. Over the past few months, we've been creating the opportunity to actually go into these businesses to do an assessment. We opened a portal, over 8,000 businesses applied. Out of that, 4,000 were within the range of the small and medium enterprises. And we went in to do further assessment of those that we had in, keeping in mind those who had passed, those who had also were export ready, those who had the potential to create employment. Over the past 4 years, we've increased access to finance from, let's say, $600,000 from Ghana Enterprises Agency to close to $160 million. So there are various interventions that we've brought out, and we want to bring about more. For us to be able to do that, we need to support businesses that are showing transformational changes.
Still in business, as part of reducing unemployment across the country and create more job opportunities, the Ghana-India Trade Advisory Chamber Foundation and the Global Africa Trade Advisory Chamber has launched a special initiative dubbed the Knowledge Bank in Accra. The initiative will serve as an idea forum to give students and young entrepreneurs the platform to support and sell the ideas to investors to set up and expand their businesses. According to the president of the Global Africa Trade Advisory Chamber, Mr. Dominic Odruentri, the concept of Knowledge Bank is to shape and financially support students with business ideas in all fields to support the growth of the economy. He said students in all sectors, including agriculture, health, business, and science, can take advantage of this initiative and come up with ideas which will undergo scrutiny for days and properly shaped for investments. The India Trade Advisory Chamber aim is to promote trade, investment and cultural interaction between Ghana and India. That's it for your business.
Asamba na abebuaba.